Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about the two players that the Washington Commanders just signed, including center Nick Martin and former Cowboys defensive tackle John Ridgeway, and I'll also give you guys an important injury update on center Chase Roullier. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content on the road to 9,000 subscribers. Now, let's get right into it. Okay, so let's start off with an injury update on Chase Roullier. So it's not a good one. So this is what John Kimes said. One note on Chase Roullier says, they're waiting for the swelling in his knee to go down before getting the second opinion. Fear has been out for the year. Tough blow for Roullier, who worked hard to get back from a brutal leg injury last year. And yeah, got back from the injury, and week 2 gets another severe leg injury. So likely out for the year, and he already got placed on IR. Just really unfortunate because, like Doug says here in the comments, it happened at the end of the game. So 1 minute left in the game, meaningless football, and that happened. So very unfortunate for Chase Roullier, very unfortunate for this team, because this, Chase Roullier is a really good center in this league, one of the better ones in the league, and he's more likely than not out for the year. Maybe it's not as bad as they think, and he can come back for the end if they're in playoff contention, but looks like he will be out for the year. So the team, they don't have great center depth, so that's unfortunate. Wes Schweitzer is kind of their backup, but he's out right now with an injury. We'll see if he plays this week. Tyler Larson, who is actually their backup center, he's on the PUP list, so he's probably not going to be back until week 5 at the earliest, but I think it's going to be longer than that because he did suffer a ruptured Achilles last year, week 11, week 12. So center position not looking too good right now at the moment, and we're fortunate, obviously very unfortunate that he got hurt, but fortunate that it happened earlier in the game because they wouldn't have really had a center. It would have been like Wes Martin or Sadiq Charles out there. So yesterday, or no, actually this is today, the Commanders signed veteran center Nick Martin, more depth and a potential starter. He's started 62 games for the Texans from 2017 to 2020, spent last season with the Raiders, and released from the practice squad by the Saints earlier this month. So, don't know much about Nick Martin besides what I'm reading to you guys right now, but I kind of like this signing because, of course, they need a center right now because Wes Schweitzer's status is in question for this game, and Larson's out, and obviously Chase Roullier is out for at least 4 games, but likely the season. After being placed on IR. So having a guy that started 60 plus games in the year, like that is very valuable. That's 3+ seasons of starting experience, and you love to see it. So he's a guy that isn't going to take too much to get acclimated to the offense, and could potentially play if they need him to this week against the Eagles, which after seeing last night, it's going to be a tough game for the Commanders, but good signing for the Commanders right here. Get some more depth at center, and could start this week. It's either going to be him or Wes Schweitzer until Larson comes back, if he comes back relatively sometime early in the season, but we'll see about that. So next kind of signing that they made was yesterday, and they claimed defensive tackle John Ridgeway off of waivers. Was a 5th round selection by Dallas in the 2022 NFL Draft. Multiple teams entered a claim on Ridgeway, including the Eagles, and Dane Brugler, who's like an NFL draft analyst for The Athletic. He rated Ridgeway, who was played at Arkansas, D tackle 7 in the draft, and Fedarian Mathis was the D tackle 6. So obviously something went wrong with Ridgeway, where he got he got drafted in the 5th round this year and got cut. I think he made the initial roster, but to get Cooper Rush on the roster or something like that, they placed Ridgeway on, or they released Ridgeway, but they wanted him back. So unfortunate for him, but good for the Commanders getting some depth. But again, this is a guy that's a rookie that I don't know if he's going to be able to have that much of an impact, but I like this signing better than Donovan Jeter, who was an undrafted free agent this year and played terrible in the first game, and he got released yesterday. So at least this guy is way more talented. A lot of people had him in the 4th, 5th round, and the Commanders are able to get him here. So that's good for sure. And maybe if the Commanders signed Tim Settle, or didn't let him go, and maybe kept Matt Ioannidis, they could have drafted John Ridgeway in the 5th, 6th round instead of Phidarian Mathis in the second. And I'm nothing against Phidarian Mathis. I just think they, took him too early. I didn't think they needed to take a D tackle that early. Could have taken one later and went for like a safety or a linebacker in the second. And, and they had to take a D tackle relatively early, though, because the mismanagement, in my opinion, of the Tim Settle situation and even Matt Ioannidis. So, going away from that, John Ridgeway played at Arkansas, is about 6'5", 321 pounds is what he measured in at the combine. Sorry, let me pause this right here. 5'3", 40-yard dash, so definitely not a burner. Broad jump 101 and 20-yard shuttles 4.73. And kind of the bio, we'll go over the overview. So projected to go in the 4th, 5th round, went in the 5th. So college nose tackle, the size and length for consideration along the interior or as an odd front defensive end. So has a little bit of versatility. Ridgeway is more wrestler than gap eater when taking on blocks as a nose. He's likely to be coveted by traits-based evaluators, eager to develop the physical ingredients into a more polished product. So he's a little bit more raw, which, is good that we got some talent in here, but we need someone that can play right away. While most of his experiences come at nose tackle, the sum of his parts might make more sense as a 3-4 defensive end, whereas long arms and natural power would become more beneficial as an edge rusher. Regardless of position, he won't offer much help as a pass rusher, so rotational lineman with upside is likely to become his tag as a day 3 prospect. So that's kind of what we need, a space eater who can play solid in the run game. So hopefully he's able to do that this week against the Eagles. So some of his strengths, good physical measurements, long arms and big hands. And I was going to say, I saw someone say this on Twitter, he's a state champion and wrestler with core strength and lean mass. So, you love those players with wrestling, backgrounds, especially at the O-line position and, the D-line position as well. And then, better reactive athleticism than expected when runner tests his gaps. And then weaknesses, you guys can see some of this stuff knocked off his base by down blocks. And then sources tell us, I didn't like the Georgia tape, but for guys who look the way he does, you just bet on the physical more than the tape. So we'll see what happens with Ridgeway. Like that we're getting some talent in here, but I think they need to sign a veteran. I know Ndamukong Suh probably wouldn't come here, but at least make the call. And there's other veterans that I'm sure have played a decent amount of games that you can go after. So try to do that. I hope they can get someone or even a linebacker like Blake Martinez, get him in here. If they're so frustrated by Jamin Davis, which I think is a little bit unfair for the last game, I thought he played better, then go ahead and get Blake Martinez, who knows your system, or AJ Klein, or someone that can play solid at the linebacker position. So, that is going to be it for today's video. I might have a video out later today talking about the Jamin Davis situation, him kind of calling out Rivera and Del Rio, in my opinion. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.